The individual at the heart of this extraordinary tale identified himself as John. John claimed to be a historian from the year 2485, dispatched on a clandestine mission to the 21st century. His purpose, he explained, was not to alter the past, but to observe and record it, to gather first-hand accounts of a pivotal era that had become shrouded in myth and misinformation in his time. He claimed to have been meticulously trained for this mission, equipped with advanced technology that allowed him to traverse the temporal boundaries. John's descriptions of the future were both tantalizing and terrifying. He spoke of towering megacities that scraped the sky, powered by unimaginable sources of energy. He described a world where disease had been eradicated and human lifespans extended far beyond their natural limits, but at a cost. Overpopulation and environmental degradation had ravaged the planet, leaving vast swaths uninhabitable. He hinted at a global government, a benevolent dictatorship that maintained order amidst the chaos. But he also spoke of a deep-seated yearning for the past, a nostalgia for a simpler time when humanity was not so burdened by its own ingenuity. One of John's most startling revelations concerned a long-forgotten war, a conflict so devastating that it had been erased from history books. He claimed this war had taken place in the early 22nd century, triggered by a resource crisis of unprecedented scale. Nations had clashed over dwindling supplies of water, arable land, and the raw materials needed to sustain their burgeoning populations. John described terrifying weapons of mass destruction, far more potent than anything known in the 21st century. He spoke of cities reduced to radioactive rubble, of millions perishing in the blink of an eye. He claimed this war had reshaped the geopolitical landscape, leading to the rise of the global government he knew. When pressed for details about his time machine, John remained frustratingly vague. He spoke of a device that harnessed the power of quantum entanglement, creating a bridge between different points in space-time. He described a sensation of being compressed, of time folding in on itself before being ejected into the past. He claimed the technology was heavily guarded, its secrets known only to a select few. He refused to divulge its location or the means by which it operated, citing the potential for paradox and the catastrophic consequences of tampering with the timeline. Despite his claims of being a mere observer, John's words often betrayed a deep sense of melancholy, a weariness that hinted at the burden of knowledge he carried. He spoke of the future not with the wide-eyed wonder of a tourist, but with the somber reflection of someone who had witnessed both its triumphs and its tragedies. He often lamented the mistakes of the past, the short-sightedness and greed that had led humanity down a perilous path. He urged his online audience to learn from history, to cherish the present, and to strive for a future where the mistakes of the past were not repeated. As compelling as John's story was, seeds of doubt lingered in the minds of even his most ardent supporters. His refusal to provide concrete proof of his origins, his vague descriptions of the technology he claimed to possess, and the sheer improbability of his claims all gave pause for skepticism. Some questioned his motives, wondering if he was merely a gifted storyteller weaving an elaborate hoax for attention or amusement. Others speculated that he might be suffering from a form of delusion, his mind conjuring up a fantastical reality to escape some unknown trauma. John's claims, while intriguing, remained largely unsubstantiated until he made a startling prediction. He claimed that on a specific date and time, a peculiar incident would unfold in a crowded London square. An antique clock, he asserted, would inexplicably stop working, only to restart moments later, its hands spinning backward for a few seconds before resuming their normal course. He provided the exact location of the clock tower, the date, and the time down to the second. Skeptics scoffed, dismissing it as a desperate attempt to lend credibility to his outlandish tale. Believers, however, saw it as a test, a chance to prove or disprove John's claims once and for all. As the appointed day arrived, anticipation crackled through the online community that had formed around John's story. Some members, armed with cameras and smartphones, gathered in the designated London square, their eyes glued to the ancient clock face. Others, scattered across the globe, anxiously awaited updates, refreshing their browsers every few seconds. And then, at the precise moment predicted by John, the unthinkable happened. The clock's rhythmic ticking ceased. For what felt like an eternity, but was probably no more than a handful of seconds, the hands hung motionless, as if time itself had paused to catch its breath. Then, with a shudder and a groan, the clock sprang back to life, its hands whirling backward for a brief, disorienting moment before resuming their normal course. The event, captured on numerous smartphones and CCTV cameras, sent shockwaves through the online world. Skeptics scrambled for explanations, suggesting elaborate hoaxes or technical malfunctions. But for many, it was the confirmation they had been seeking, proof that John's claims were more than just the ramblings of a madman. Adding to the mystery, one particular video, shot by a tourist who had stumbled upon the gathering, captured something truly bizarre. In the background, a man, seemingly oblivious to the commotion around him, could be seen walking across the square. As the clock hands reversed, he faltered, his body blurring for a split second before vanishing completely, as if erased from existence. The vanishing man incident ignited a firestorm of debate and speculation. Experts in video analysis and digital forensics were brought in to examine the footage, searching for signs of tampering or manipulation. The police launched an investigation into the missing man, but their inquiries led to a dead end. No missing person report matched his description, and no one had come forward claiming to know his identity. He was a phantom, a glitch in the matrix, his existence seemingly wiped clean from the fabric of reality. Some speculated that he was John himself, caught in the act of temporal shifting. Others wondered if he was an innocent bystander, caught in the crosshairs of forces beyond human comprehension. In the aftermath of the London incident, John's online activity became erratic. He would disappear for days, even weeks at a time, only to resurface with cryptic messages or tantalizing hints about future events. His once detailed accounts of the future grew vaguer, shrouded in ambiguity and veiled warnings. He spoke of unforeseen consequences, of ripples in the timeline, of the dangers of interfering with the past. Some worried that he had been compromised, his mission sabotaged by forces unknown. Others feared that he had seen too much, that the weight of the future had become too heavy to bear. Then, as abruptly as he had arrived, John vanished. His online accounts went silent, his messages ceased. The man who claimed to hold the keys to the future had become a ghost, a whisper in the digital wind. Some believe he returned to his own time, his mission accomplished or perhaps abandoned. Others speculate that he met an untimely end, silenced by those who wished to keep the secrets of time travel hidden. Whatever his fate, John's story continues to captivate and confound, a chilling reminder that the past, present, and future are inextricably intertwined, and that some doors are best left unopened. John's disappearance did little to quell the controversy surrounding his claims. If anything, it amplified the debate, pushing it further into the public consciousness. Skeptics, emboldened by John's silence, emerged from the woodwork, eager to debunk his story and expose it for the elaborate hoax they believed it to be. They pointed to the lack of verifiable evidence, the inconsistencies in John's accounts, and the sheer improbability of time travel itself. They argued that the London incident was nothing more than a carefully orchestrated illusion, a magician's trick designed to fool the gullible. They dissected the vanishing man footage frame by frame, highlighting potential editing techniques and visual anomalies. The burden of proof, they argued, lay squarely on the shoulders of those who believed John's story. Where were the tangible artifacts, the irrefutable pieces of evidence that could withstand scrutiny? Where were the blueprints for his time machine, the scientific data to support his claims? They demanded extraordinary evidence for extraordinary claims, a reasonable request in the face of such an extraordinary tale. The online community that had once rallied around John fractured into warring factions. Accusations flew back and forth, tempers flared, friendships dissolved. The very nature of truth and belief was called into question. Was it enough to believe something simply because it felt true, or did it require concrete, irrefutable proof? Despite the skeptics' best efforts, John's story refused to be easily dismissed. Too many loose ends remained. Too many unanswered questions lingered. The London incident, despite their attempts to explain it away, continued to baffle experts. The missing man remained missing, his existence a perplexing anomaly. And then there were the whispers, the rumors of others who claimed to have encountered John or someone like him in different times and places. A historian in Paris swore she had met a man matching John's description in the archives, researching a little-known event that John had mentioned in his online posts. A park ranger in the American Northwest reported seeing a strange, shimmering light in the forest, accompanied by a faint humming sound, reminiscent of John's descriptions of his time machine. The debate surrounding John's story became less about proving or disproving the existence of time travel and more about the nature of belief itself. What constituted evidence? How much weight should be given to eyewitness accounts, to gut feelings, to the nagging feeling that something was profoundly amiss? Was it possible, some wondered, that the human mind was not equipped to comprehend the complexities of time travel? That our linear perception of reality blinded us to the possibility of other dimensions, other timelines existing alongside our own? Perhaps, they mused, the very act of searching for proof, of trying to fit John's story into our limited understanding of the universe was futile. Perhaps the truth, as they say, was stranger than fiction. John's story, regardless of its veracity, tapped into a deep-seated human desire, the yearning for the unknown, the allure of the impossible. It offered a glimmer of hope that perhaps we were not bound by the constraints of time, that the past was not immutable, and the future not yet written. It sparked conversations about our place in the grand scheme of things, about the choices we make and the consequences they ripple through time. It forced us to confront the possibility that our understanding of the universe was woefully incomplete, that there were more things in heaven and earth than were dreamt of in our philosophies. In the end, John's story became a Rorschach test, a blank canvas onto which people projected their own beliefs, fears, and aspirations. Believers clung to the hope that he was telling the truth, that time travel was not just the stuff of science fiction. Skeptics remained unconvinced, content to dismiss it as a clever hoax or a shared delusion. But regardless of where one stood on the spectrum of belief, John's story left an undeniable mark on the world. It sparked a renewed interest in time travel, both in popular culture and in scientific circles. It forced us to confront the limitations of our knowledge and the vastness of the unknown. And it reminded us that sometimes the most compelling stories are those that leave us with more questions than answers. John's story, like a stone cast into the still waters of a pond, created ripples that spread far beyond the confines of the online world where it originated. The impact of his claims, whether true or fabricated, was undeniable. The very idea of a time traveler walking among us, observing our world with a knowing gaze, captured the collective imagination. The line between fact and fiction blurred as people grappled with the implications of John's story. Conversations about time travel, once relegated to the realms of science fiction conventions and late-night radio shows, became commonplace. The internet buzzed with theories, speculation, and heated debates. The media, always hungry for a compelling narrative, seized upon John's story with a mixture of sensationalism and cautious curiosity. News outlets ran segments exploring the science of time travel, interviewing physicists and futurists about the plausibility of John's claims. Documentaries explored the history of time travel theories, from H.G. Wells to the latest breakthroughs in quantum physics. The publishing industry responded with a surge of books exploring time travel themes, from fictional accounts inspired by John's story to serious scientific inquiries into the nature of time itself. The lines between fact, fiction, and speculation became increasingly blurred as the public appetite for all things time travel reached a fever pitch. Perhaps the most unexpected consequence of John's story was the emergence of a new breed of self-proclaimed time travelers. Emboldened by John's example, or perhaps seeking their own moment in the spotlight, individuals from all walks of life came forward with their own tales of temporal displacement. There was the woman who claimed to be a 19th century socialite, transported to the 21st century by a freak lightning strike. the man who insisted he had fought in the Roman legions, only to find himself inexplicably thrust into the modern world. The teenager who swore he had visited a future ravaged by climate change, sent back with a dire warning for humanity. John's story infiltrated popular culture with surprising speed and pervasiveness. Television shows and movies incorporated time travel elements into their plots, often with a nod to the mysterious John and his enigmatic claims. Video games allowed players to explore virtual worlds where time travel was not just possible but commonplace. The John effect, as it came to be known, permeated music, art, and fashion. Musicians wrote songs about the allure and perils of time travel. Artists created installations exploring the fluidity of time and the subjective nature of perception. Fashion designers drew inspiration from bygone eras, reflecting a newfound fascination with the past and its potential influence on the future. John's story, regardless of its authenticity, left an indelible mark on the world. It forced us to confront the limitations of our knowledge and the vastness of the unknown. It challenged our understanding of time, reality, and the very nature of existence. And it left us with a profound sense of wonder, tinged with a hint of unease. Was John a genuine time traveler, a visitor from a future yet to be written? Or was he a master storyteller, a weaver of intricate tales that tapped into our deepest fears and desires? The answer, like the man himself, remained elusive, lost in the labyrinthine corridors of time. The enduring fascination with John's story, however, speaks to something deeper within the human psyche. It reflects our innate curiosity, our desire to push the boundaries of knowledge and explore the uncharted territories of the universe. It reminds us that the world is full of mysteries and that some questions may never have definitive answers. And so the legend of John, the time traveler, lives on, a cautionary tale, a source of inspiration, and a reminder that the boundaries of reality are far more fluid and permeable than we might imagine. The story of John, the alleged time traveler, remains an enigma, a puzzle box with missing pieces. Did he offer a glimpse into a future waiting to be born? Or were his words merely a tapestry woven from imagination and longing? The lack of definitive proof leaves us suspended in a state of perpetual wonder. We are left to grapple with the tantalizing possibility of his claims, the implications of a future shaped by events both mundane and extraordinary. The London incident, the vanishing man, the cryptic warnings, these fragments of John's narrative continue to haunt the digital landscape, refusing to be neatly categorized or dismissed. Perhaps the true legacy of John's story lies not in the answers it provides, but in the questions it provokes. It compels us to confront the limits of our understanding, to acknowledge the vastness of the universe and the infinite possibilities that lie beyond our current comprehension. Could time, as we perceive it, be an illusion, a construct of our limited human perspective? Could there be other dimensions, other timelines coexisting alongside our own, separated by barriers we are yet to perceive, let alone breach? These are questions that have captivated philosophers and scientists for centuries, and John's story, regardless of its veracity, has breathed new life into the debate. The allure of time travel, at its core, speaks to a fundamental human desire to revisit the past, to reshape our choices, to glimpse the tapestry of what might have been. It reflects our yearning for control over the relentless march of time, a yearning woven into the fabric of our myths, our stories, and our dreams. John's story reminds us that time, while a relentless current, is also a river of stories, each life a tributary feeding into its flow. Our memories, our experiences, our individual journeys through time. These are the threads that weave the rich tapestry of human existence. The story of John, the time traveler, may forever remain an enigma, a tantalizing mystery that defies easy explanation. But perhaps that is where its true power lies, in its ability to spark our imaginations, to challenge our perceptions, and to remind us that the universe is far stranger, far more wondrous than we can possibly imagine. And so, we are left to gaze up at the stars, to ponder the mysteries of time and space, and to wonder if somewhere out there in the vast expanse of the cosmos, John's story is unfolding, a testament to the enduring power of human curiosity and the endless possibilities that lie beyond the horizon of our understanding. Disclaimer: as an Amazon and other affiliate, I earn from qualifying purchases at no additional cost to you. Want to make videos like this? Turn text into stunning videos in seconds. Get free AI and unlock your creative potential. You can create even better videos than mine. No editor is required. Check out the link in the video description below. Thank you for joining us on this journey on time travel. Please like, comment, and share the video, and please do not forget to subscribe for more videos.